Welcome to the Unlock the Genius Within show. I'm your host, Jordan Tabano, former salesman turned alchemist and creative. And on this show, I'll be teaching you how to lead from the genius part of your consciousness so you can thrive both personally and professionally. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get into the episode. Yeah, Genius Sessions is back. Hey guys, Jordan Tabano, as you know, and we're back for the third Genius Session. I've got my dear friend and client, Natalie here. Natalie, we're doing this. We're about to do this, aren't we? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
thrilled.
Just before I hand it over to Natalie, this is a really cool story. So, Bali, 2021. COVID, pandemic, lockdown, no one's on the roads. I go to this one cafe, the only cafe I like would go to because it was near my villa. And in truth, when I was learning to ride my scooter, it was the only cafe I felt comfortable going to. I would go to this cafe every day, and every day I would see you sitting over in the corner. And one day, I don't know what it was, but I was a bit of a stalker, and I saw your laptop and you were working on something to do with meditation. And me being into what I'm into, I'm like, oh, and I'm like, are you a graphic designer? She goes, no, I'm actually a teacher. And that's how we started talking. And it was great because, I barely knew anyone there, and having you there to have like great chats with throughout COVID was amazing. So very excited to have you here to workshop the meditation stuff. Hey.
Yeah, and we have a very cool meet cute. It's I remember at that time, that's like when I was really at the beginning of like getting my business going and like the ball rolling, and I just like really appreciated one wonderful conversation and good friendship, and then two, also like I feel like you always kind of had like a little bit of that eye over on like just kind of like looking out for me in a good way. So
Yes.
Thank you. And also, the parking in front of there was a lot easier to get into.
It was a lot easier. I wasn't letting my scooter go flight. That's another story where I almost let my scooter go. I think I told you that story where I nearly no. All right, I gotta say it now because I've brought it up. Sorry, guys, if you're here, we will get down to business in a second, but I got to tell this story. It's quite funny. So when I was learning to ride my scooter, I went to the cafe that was slightly closer than the Commons to my villa. And I was so happy. I'm like, man, I rode like 50 meters. I was like, overjoyed. Anyway, so I'm getting off the damn thing. I didn't put the stand down. So the bike didn't turn off. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll just kick it down when I'm off. And as I got off, I was thinking, I revved the accelerator. The scooter went up. So I must have just tensed up and held on. The scooter kind of went up. Everyone in the cafe is looking, oh my God, we're about to die. And I pulled it down and turned it off and just, put this down like, oh my God, I nearly just caused a freaking kerfuffle here. And the waitresses and the waiters came up to me and they go, oh my God, are you okay? I go, me, don't worry about me. Are you okay? You almost died. Oh, and I sat down and there were a few expats in that cafe, even though it was COVID, they were pissing themselves laughing. So yes,
give them some good entertainment. Yeah,
good entertainment, but the scooter was fine after that. Anyhow, I'll stop talking. Natalie, do you want to tell everyone what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I'm a meditation and mindset coach, and I basically help people navigate change to create the lives they want and dealing with life changes and challenges more effectively and creating more workability in their life ultimately. And there's a variety of ways in which I do that. So, yeah.
Amazing. You were nervous about pitching that. That's brilliant. I love it. That's so good. And I just want to talk about that because, lots of people, because what some of the things I do in my business is sales. Some of the coaching I do, it's like, Jordan, I don't have my thing right. My introduction sucks. And I hear it, I go, dude, that is better than mine. The other week I was at a networking event. I stood up, I was shaking. like, guys, just full transparency here. I still get super nervous when I'm selling. My throat's freezing up. I'm standing in front of all these corporate people, and I nailed it. But the ego afterwards is like, dude, you look like such a deer
Yeah.
out in headlights. Like that was horrible. But
And everybody hates you. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then afterwards, you know, it was amazing. People came up and said, "Oh, tell me a bit more about what you do." I'm like, "Shit, that worked." Okay. So that
mm,
it's a great example. So well done. That was very good. So let's start fleshing out what we're going to work on today. So do you want to start with just the general reason why you
yeah.
wanted to come on the session?
Yeah. So first of all, my main reason is because I've had the pleasure of one, like being acquaintances with you, and then two, I've worked with you one-on-one, and then also being in your group program. So I feel really grateful to be here with you. And also, um, like I'm in a place where I'm really clear on all the things that I want to create, all these different projects. After working with you, like something that was really missing for me before was like I was missing a lot of different knowledge around business. I was like really excited when I first got, I was like, okay, I'm good at like my gifts and stuff. But I was missing some like basic general knowledge and like systems and processes that you've like provided me with. So I'm in a place now where I feel like I have everything that I actually need to like to do things. And like I have like my action plans. I keep making like these game plans. I have like accountability and stuff. But I just feel ultimately like the best way I can word it is like I've lost my mojo.
Yeah. Got it. So like it's all there, the structures are there, but the mojo isn't there.
Yeah, which I know sounds silly, and like I've done some work. I recently just distinguished that I've had like a victim mentality, like a victim kind of like mindset, which has been very humbling. So I'm very aware of the way that's obviously been like sabotaging me from moving forward. Obviously,
Mm,
because like the game that I'm here to play, like, and I'm really committed to actually helping people live their lives better and
yeah,
alleviate suffering however I can.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just feel like I've lost my especially when I was first getting started, like I used to wake up every single day just like super passionate, like think like information ideas was like flowing through me, and I was just so eager to like create and create and create and like
Mm,
doing things like very quickly. Like I created my whole like coaching model and like courses within like a few days, like because I was just like in my zone. And I feel like I haven't um gotten into that. Like I can still speak about it in a very like enrolling way, like people like anytime that I'm talking about anything that I'm doing, but there's just this like block that's yeah, that's just kind of, I feel like I'm just constantly like just like yeah, like, and I'm not
yeah.
somebody who procrastinates as well, which is frustrating because normally I'm like, if I know what to do, I will do it. But I
Yeah.
feel like I've just kind of yeah, so if
So
that gives you enough to
so it sounds like you were excited to set everything up, plan, strategize, get it ready, and now it's ready.
yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. So you don't have your mojo to get it out there.
Yeah, I think it's like I feel like I don't have like the energy for it. I know that some of it comes from still feeling a bit kind of disempowered from when I was like first starting in business, because I like poured my full heart and soul into everything that I was doing, and then I burnt myself out. And then I learned all the things that like I needed to know that I wish that I had known like earlier on.
Mm,
um and so I think a part of it is I don't want to say like I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is like in integrity and is like of a good quality. So there's a part of me that's blocking myself because I'm like, I can see like kind of the when then contracts that I'm having with myself, like when this is, then I'll do this. So it's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like I feel like I can't fully get started unless like I have like really incredible systems in place, or if I have somebody that's like actually like helping me kind of like build. I feel like
Mm,
there's so many things that I need to do. Like I can see like the bigger, and that it
mm,
does excite me. Like I'm going to do all those things, but I feel a combination of like I really want it to be perfect or like I want it
mm.
to be of like a really nice quality. And then I also just feel exhausted that I have so many things that I like need to do,
Yep.
rather than it feeling like I get this privilege to like create.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a few things jumping out at me there. So
Yeah.
perfect is big. and energy is big for you. It's got to feel good, and you want it to like align, like the dots. Yeah. Okay. So what would happen if it was perfect?
Like everything, like if all of my things were like built perfectly and
yeah, it's all perfect. You got your mojo, everything's ready. It's perfect. What would happen then?
I would actually be like showing up and being of service. Like I've still been doing things, but I've definitely been like stepping on my own heels. Like I don't feel like I've been like actually showing up. Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's perfection, and I feel like it's when you talk about perfection, it's how it all feels. That's what I'm getting for you. How the systems feel to you, the line. So when you look at your business, does that feel right? Yep, cool. My mojo, does that feel right? And then if that's there and the feeling's good, you'll move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a big thing for a lot of people, because what are we taught with it, guys? Like, we're taught to make decisions from emotion, right? And that's not wrong. Like, emotion drives decisions. There was once an experiment where they removed some gland or something, some part of the person's brain. I teach this stuff and I don't even know the part of the brain, but the brain that produces about the part of the brain that produces emotions, I think it's the amygdala. They removed something like that. And what happened, the guy couldn't even choose what tie to wear in the morning, what cereal to have. Like, he was just useless. So when people are like, oh, don't be emotional about things, we like, emotion's important, but we want to consciously choose what emotion we're putting in our body to make decisions, because happiness, joy, comfort is not a great emotion for business decisions. It's because it's that's more about safety and the ego going, oh, now I can let you off the hook. You've calmed me down. But that's about building a safe business, not necessarily a business that grows and serves, which you've told me is really what you want to do. So we'll break this down, and we're gonna draw an arrow here.
The arrows, yay!
Love my arrows. Kind of just tells me where I'm heading with things too, because I'm very much improvising as I do this all the time, but it's cool. This is where my genius comes to life. Okay, so let's break this down. So for you to experience perfection with your emotions surrounding business, like what do you need to have? What needs to be in front of you, or what needs to be happening?
I feel like I mean, I would love it if I could just like hire somebody to like build all my things. Like I need to build my website. There's like courses, like automated courses and stuff that I'm wanting to build. I want to like really get streamlined on like social medias and have like a steady presence. And it's like I love creating things, but I just find it deeply exhausting to have to like do it myself now.
Hire someone to build things, hire someone to implement it is what I also like.
Yeah.
To execute
And then
is probably the better word, to execute on projects. Yeah.
Yeah, which I like that you use that word, because that's something I'm like, maybe I'm just a visionary. Like maybe I'm not supposed to be making stuff. I just gotta tell people what to do. So I feel like, because not only does that like drain my energy, just the thought of certain things that need to be done, I would also rather have somebody else do it that can do it very well, rather than me like making something that is like kind of makeshift. So
that sounds like creation needs to be A+. So the let's say the capability / skill needs to be A++.
Yeah, and I think that goes not only for like some of the different like the products and systems and stuff, but also like for myself. Like I know that I'm really skillful and masterful at like what I do, and there's a variety of different things that I do, but I feel like I'm like there's just this overall like drive or desire to like be better. So I'm like, maybe if there's some other kind of like additional qualification, because right now, like I feel like I help like every kind of person with all the things, but at some point, like I do want to focus on going into businesses and workplaces and helping create more conscientious work environments.
Yep.
So I feel like even though I have experience and I can have like testimonials and stuff, like part of me feels like I might need a certain like a specific like qualification that's recognized within certain kind of industries. So
Totally.
yeah, I feel like I want to master like my craft more in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Yeah. So
What feeling do you need to have to like be closer to perfection? What's your feeling?
Confidence is like the first like
Yeah.
word that comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Confidence. Yep. What else? I feel like there's another one there. Confidence and
I think I tried to come up and then I was like, no, it's not perfect. Okay, go away. What are you feeling? You're tuning into it.
yeah, confidence. Something about calm, like you being calm in your body.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Someone that teaches
Which isn't a
meditation.
bad thing, you know, like it's not a bad thing, but we're gonna see when we make it a condition, it becomes destructive. So the main thing that I want everyone to remember as we do this exercise, the minute you have a condition to build something, that same condition will be the downfall of what you're trying to build. And I'm going to explain why again in a moment when we break it down. But all of these conditions, if we rely on our conditions more than our genius to build something, those same conditions will be the reasons your ego tricks you out of creating it further, which you'll see in a moment, because it needs to, as it always happens in these structures, everything swings one extreme to the other extreme. That's how the ego motivates and drives us. With a genius, it's just about expanding. It doesn't care about things are still going to move and oscillate, but they're going to oscillate in the direction of creation, not safety, which we'll break down in a moment. So I think we hit the main things here. There's probably some other ones, but these are jumping out as like the main.
Yeah, because I can definitely see even just like, even though it's like short but sweet, like I definitely am kicking up my heels big time because of all of those things and like not taking action because I'm like, nope, not going to be incredible.
So we'll test these because some of them might not be the actual things. Sometimes when I do this in sessions with my clients, some of them combine, some or it stays the same. We never know. So no confidence or calm. We've got build it yourself. God, that just sounds build it yourself, man. Come on. It just sounds brutal.
It's only my big not to defend myself, but like I think it's because like I had already built my business and now I need to kind of do it like all over again, but in a better way. And so I have even more resistance to like I don't want to have to do it again and then have to do it again. Like
and that's a fear. It's one of these things that the ego's like, you know, it matters. Perfection matters because it blocks us from failure, but we can have the perfect business and it still doesn't do anything. I've seen plenty of those. It's like, it's perfect. What's nothing happening? It's not serving anyone. It's not, and it could be the perfect business serving so many people, but it's not your genius. And it's like, but I'm perfect. It's like, dude, like, it's not the game, right? Well, it could be, but yeah, on this game, not that this is a game, but the game I like to play and encourage people to play is let's just get the genius out there, because that's what I think we're all here to do. Imperfectly be geniuses, because you I mean, you have a look at them all. The musicians, the artists, we don't notice it, but if they were to tell you and be honest, they're like, oh, look at that chord over there. I was thinking about playing the other one instead, or that paint stroke there. I think that's the right word. I was thinking of using purple instead of orange. Like, they would tell you all those things, but we don't see it because we're like, oh my God, Jesus, it resonates. There's a resonance with it. Okay, I'll stop talking because I want to get this done. Not improving skills. Okay, and qualifications. Okay, so let's test this out. Okay, so all right, when we're over here in imperfection, let's say like when you're not feeling great about your business, when you work on the amount of calm and confidence that you feel, do you feel like you're getting closer to perfection in how you feel?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. When you are building it yourself, when you're talking to potential people to build things for you, do you start to feel better about the business?
I actually haven't. And
Okay.
that's something that I'm literally not even in the reality of what it costs to hire people for certain things. I'm like, oh, it's just going to be too much that I can't do right now.
Okay, so let's rephrase that. So when you think about the future and the future strategy of how this could look, when you think about hiring someone to build things for you, let's say like fantasize or dream about it, do you feel better about your business?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So notice what I did there, guys. Sometimes we can't do it now, but we'll spend time in the future fantasizing about something that's like, yeah, let me just fantasize about this and hope, because that's what we're taught. But hope, well, some people aren't going to like this, but hope can be a very disempowering emotion because it's like, oh, maybe. But it's like, no, if it's your genius, it's true. We want to assume, if I focus on this, this can be created. I don't need hope. It's just, I want to be vulnerable to this can be created. And in my lifetime, I just might not create it. That's the scary part that no one wants to face. But that's it. I want to mention that now. Part of experiencing more tension. So everyone that watches the podcast will know how important tension is. And I teach this in sales too. You want to be open to a no just as much as a yes. When you open yourself, we don't do it because we're like, oh, now I'll be fine with either. No, we all know you want the person to build it for you and you want the yes. That's fine. But when you open yourself to both scenarios, you experience the tension, the emotional energy that you need to create the thing. Otherwise, without it, you're only taking the energy from yes. It doesn't feel great, but when you've got both sides and you can use both outcomes and the energy from both outcomes to go towards your end result, God, you're a powerhouse. You're really giving yourself a chance there. So anyhow, I went off track. So build it yourself. When you are feeling imperfect and not like great, and you are thinking about someone else executing the tasks for you and doing it all for you, does that tend to bring a lot of relief?
Yeah, it does, because it just feels like a tremendous amount of burden energy, because I'm like, just somebody that actually will do it well, and then also just take it kind of off my plate so I can just kind of stay focused in my genius and just
your genius. Yes.
Yeah.
The classic thing. So when we're feeling imperfect and then a new skill becomes obvious and it's like, oh, okay, and you think about upskilling, does that tend to get you excited and confident or calm?
Yeah, there's some things like in certain kind of therapy and counseling kind of concepts that I would like to have, just have a few more tools on my belt. I still do very similar things, and I've actually had a lot of clients, they have therapists as well, and they'll tell me oh, I said some of the things that I've learned from you, and they're like, oh, that's great. It's very, very similar, but I just kind of feel like I would probably feel more confident if I maybe had a little extra something to just kind of fluff it
Got
up.
it.
So
Yeah. And I feel like this not improving and improving goes with this. Yeah.
kind of.
I feel like that's the same. All right. So now what we've established, we know how you get away from pain to pleasure. So we know how we get feeling good. So now let's test it on the other side. When you start to feel good about yourself, do you find that your ego will pipe up and go, hello, you're not feeling that confident and calm today? And then you'll start to swing back to imperfection?
Yeah.
Okay. Will it start to ask you questions? You don't have the money yet, so you should build it yourself. And does that start to make you feel shit? Okay. And same with executing yourself. You need to do it all, and then you feel crap. Yep. Okay. And then when you get close to doing the capability, or maybe you even do this, maybe you go and get the new skill, do you find your ego will nag you even more once you're learning the skill, saying, hey, is this enough? Do you know this well enough? Or
I think it's even more like, I say that like I do like, a part of me does actually like want some like more tools on my belt. I'm always like wanting to learn and master my craft, and I know that things are going to be changing, and I have so many tools and resources available for people that like I could easily, like, I don't actually need it. Like, so I think that's kind of just like another thing that I'm getting hooked on, because I'm like, I can easily make profound impact on people regardless if it's like a workplace or not, even if I don't have that. Like, they could just literally kind of just see what I do, basically.
So do you find now that you have more, you have a lot of tools that your ego can at times will nag you more because you've got so much?
That does actually contribute to kind of like me feeling a little bit confused on like, oh, what should I focus on? Like which one of my projects is most, so I also have been struggling to like prioritize as well. So
I want every coach that's watching this right now to just replay that thing, because what you just said there is a classic sneaky ego thing. It's like, well, now you've got everything. Now you need to pick the right one, and it'll keep you thinking and guessing and playing the game. And it knows. It's like, oh, they'll do this for years. And then maybe you'll pick it and they'll go, but why don't you split test it? You know, everyone's tested things. It's like, I don't need to do that. Oh, okay. Yes. There you go. All right, cool. So what we've established is these conditions, they get you, they play with your emotions quite a bit.
Yeah.
The key thing that we actually want to do is we want to get the emotion of your business. We just want to get that, because I could bet my bottom dollar that when you're in service, you don't worry about whether you're calm and confident. You just are on service. Can everyone just feel the resonance of that? Like the confidence and calm thing, it's a byproduct when we serve. You know, one of the things that that used to get me out of a rut when I was in sales was I would literally write down in big bold letters on my page, doctor. And the word doctor would get me into like service. I'm like, oh, I've got to find out what's going on here. And it wasn't, how do I sound? And do I inflict my tone or drop it down? And do I speed up or like, it was just, no, Jordan, find out what's actually going on for this person. And my God, like sometimes it got me out, sometimes it didn't. But what it changed was the emotion in my body. It changed it instantly. So we want to connect you to what that is significantly for your end result. So what I'm actually feeling, I'm going to tune into your end result first. And I'm going to do a reading for you. Yeah, we haven't done this yet on this show, but I'm going to do a reading for you. Then you're going to write down what comes up, and then we're both going to tune into what that is, and we're going to extract the emotion, and then that will be like your anchor. So when you get up in the morning, that's the emotion and the end result you tune into. And what will happen is your ego will get even more uncomfortable with this, because we've found it out and we've gone, we know how to bypass you now. and there's nothing wrong with bypassing it, but it'll just be about acknowledging it when it comes up and it starts to do its thing. And you're like, look, I know what you're trying to create, but what genius wants to create is this. So we're going this way. And this is the mastery in it, guys. You don't want to try and fix the stuff your ego gives you, because what your subconscious gets is, God, you're doing a lot of work there. That must have a lot of power. And that strengthens your relationship to it. So we want to be good at acknowledging and dropping it down and going, yeah, man, like I know you're not going anywhere, but I'm taking you with me and we're going in the genius direction. That's where the mastery comes in. So, all right, I'm gonna tune in and we're gonna get this end result for you. So what I'm seeing here, you've got big conferences for women in leadership. There's like other speakers at this, and you've really brought conscious health and well-being practices into corporate, and you've made meditation like a popular thing for businesses. I'm seeing you speak about it. It's this conference you've created about well-being for corporates. It's like so simple, but it's so profound. And you are actually like the host. Everyone loves you. You're getting speakers to come and speak on these topics, but you're like holding the energy and leading it, but you're not necessarily running the show by yourself. So what I'm getting about that's a metaphor within itself for me. So that's actually not just the thing. What I really feel you're doing is you're right. So you want to write this down. You're writing programs. You're actually writing meditation programs for corporates. And you are training teachers to go out and implement this themselves. So you actually create like a certification yourself to empower coaches to go and run meditation programs. And literally the message is, when you raise your consciousness, when you improve your connection to the different parts of you, stress, anxiety, depression in the workplace, all of that just gets handled. It's really about consciousness and connecting in and feeling better about your workplace and where you work, and taking care of your health, your body. So you're very much about that health, body, mind, and spirit. That's your message. And it's like consciousness is the key to unlocking all of it. So you want to note that down. But the end result here is you're building something that can be run by teachers. I'm getting teachers here. No, it's not a coaching thing. People are teaching. People are teaching here. They're teaching meditation, and you've just written it masterfully. And I get it's a bit of a licensing model. It's a licensing model that you've created. And this conference that you run, yeah, you got the other speakers and whatever, but because you're hosting it and because you've created it, there's an authority that comes through. It's like, wow, geez, Natalie's creating this movement about consciousness in corporate. That's what it is. It's consciousness in corporate, raising consciousness. Yeah, raising consciousness. So what I get about this end result now, for everyone watching, when I actually do this with my one-to-one clients, we take like 2 weeks to design an end result. So this is going to be very loose, but this is what it is. This is the essence. You are building a meditation system, like a system that raises consciousness for women in leadership. That's the end result of your business. You raise consciousness for women in leadership, and it's through the meditation system that you build. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Now, what we want to do. All right. That first off, I'm not going to ask you what you think, because that'll get you into your ego. So whatever comes in, we just go with it, right? And sometimes it changes, but whenever I jump into a creator circle, we get like the essence, the energy. What we're going to get now is the emotion behind it, which will be important. And once you get the emotion, you might see something change, it might evolve, you might see something different, but the emotion of this is what will drive it all. Okay. All right, so here's what we'll do. I want you to shut down your eyes. Deep breath in, filling up the diaphragm, and exhaling out, just emptying out. And I want you to imagine now that with each breath you take in and out, that your mind and body drains of the thoughts and feelings that are here right now. With each breath, the thoughts and feelings just continue to evaporate. And the way that you imagine this is you imagine you can imagine it. Imagine you can imagine it. Picture yourself completely present, void of any thoughts and feelings. And now I want you to imagine that a golden circle is wrapping around you. And however it's shown up is totally fine. If it's a bright white light or a golden ring, it's totally cool. And I want you to just take note of the way it's forming, how big it is, if there's any sounds that's come with it. And give yourself a moment to really focus on this shape forming around you. Once you feel it's taken full form, I want you to define this space as your genius. You just say to yourself, my genius. And I want you to imagine that the end result that we just extracted of your business joined you in the middle of this circle. The big leadership conference where you're raising consciousness for corporates, for women in leadership. The meditation certificate is done. The program's ready. Teachers have enrolled and you're teaching them. You have orchestrated this big movement that is impacting a lot of people around the world. So as you're there, I want you to just start to speak out what emotions are becoming apparent to you. And I want you to go with, if you had to make up what it was, if you had to make up what it was, and just go with whatever comes to you.
Well, the first thing that came up was passion.
Mm-hmm.
And just this experience of like peace, like almost like a calm, cool, and collected, but not from an ego. Like it was just this a grounded experience of like that being exactly what I was supposed to be doing, and like me actually like fulfilling on my potential. What it felt like.
Passion, peace, and just stay in that circle and just go with whatever comes first. Is this the emotion that you help people connect to as a result of your meditation programs, or is this the emotion you feel when you're creating this?
It's I'm like, it's the feeling that I get from creating it, the experience of like, I don't want to use the word again of calm, cool, collected, but that level of like peace and presence and groundedness and contentment and like at homeness within oneself. Like that's also what's being that's what other people are experiencing, and I'm sure that they've experienced passion as well.
So it sounds like you're all experiencing this together. So it's a co-creation is what I'm getting. It's a co-creation of this moment, of this end result.
Yeah, so, like all discovering that that space and that state together, and then learning how to actually maintain that, and having structures in place, and then being able to.
So just stay there and just continue to observe what's obvious. From this place of being in that co-creation with this big group of people, with this big audience, what are your next steps in creating this? And just go with, like, if you had to make it up from this place, what are your next steps?
It would be like trialing out my prototype that I currently have for going into workplaces and doing that, and actually like putting my energy into designing that rather than thinking that I need to put my energy into everything else, like actually just focusing on that.
Trialing out your prototype, it's already designed, yeah?
It's like drafted. So, but again, if I get into a creative flow, then it's like done already.
It's done already. Got it. So just stay there. Now. I just want you to stay connected to that feeling, because now your ego is going to start to fight me, but it won't win. If you had to make up what you would do first to trial out your prototype, what would it be? What would you do?
I would
make it up.
I would do it on probably like on a smaller business. I almost had actually done it for like a coffee shop before I left Canada. But it just didn't like align with the management schedule anyway. So I'd probably find maybe like a smaller scale to kind of, to just gain some experience as well, and to get a better kind of understanding of like how I actually need to design it in a way that actually serves like the staff and the management and like the whole like work environment as a whole. But then there's also like I've actually had like numerous people be interested in this, and they're like, "Oh, let me know when you have it designed." And so I think that
who are these people? Who are these people?
One of them, she's become a friend, and she's also a client. She actually like works in HR for a business here in Brighton.
Got it.
And she came to like my beginners meditation and mindfulness workshop, and she's like, "Oh, let me know when you make this for businesses." And I'm like,
got it. So just stay there, and just tune back in, tune back into that emotion. Just stay there for a moment. I want you to ask yourself honestly, and just let the circle tell you, does perfection really matter in this creation here?
I don't know if it's my ego. It's like it wanted to say yes, but then it was like, no, but
if it was allowed yes, then it's definitely your ego piping up. Okay. What are you seeing in the circle? What are you seeing? When you ask it, does perfection really matter? What are you getting from what you're seeing?
It's interesting. It's like it's not a no, but it's like, but excellence does like matter.
Or like, okay.
Integrity, like it's still like of a quality. Like,
okay, that's cool. All right, come out of that. Just wriggle your fingers and your toes. So that is really, really cool, because I tell you what, excellence, for everyone watching, I'm sure you'd agree, excellence is very different to perfection. Perfection, it's like this has to all line up and be perfect. But excellence is like, I am going to provide an excellent service, and let's find out together through the action. So excellence is only going to occur through action, where you've actually created an end result. Perfection, it's got a different tinge to it. It's like, yeah, let me have all the ducks in a row, but it's not necessarily about an end result. But when you said excellence, I was like, oh no, now she's talking. Now she's talking about service here.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, how do you feel now?
I mean, that was just like a lovely little meditation as well. But I feel like validated in what I've been being shown for that, like for good reason, that I've been stuck on, that I do want it to be of like excellence, that I want it to be of like a good quality and of integrity, and just having that that distinction between perfectionism and that, because that's like, I genuinely do want this to be like everything that I do, I care about like everything that I do, like I want it to be, and not from a place of ego, like I want it to be able to be effective and like stream, like so I feel like validated in that, and that's still something to like strive for and keep in mind, but also like not doing things.
Well,
Because,
what I'm getting is when you're on this meditation stuff for businesses, sorry, I'm not saying the actual big vision here, but I'm just delineating, like this is already being created. You can't stop it when you're focused on it. That's what I'm hearing. This thing actually wants to come to life, but you're like, perfection, no, stop, door shut, not yet. But this thing wants to be excellent. So here's the thing, guys. I want you to really take note of this. Genius is already excellent. Genius is already excellent. Untamed, unedited, genius is excellent. We just have that assumption. Whatever comes out first, if we get, hey, it's time to launch, and we also want to honor when it's not time to go for it as well. But if genius says, no, go and do this, and people are coming, like, they're saying, yeah, let me know when this is ready. You want to honor that, because your ego will go, no, but it's really about this. But there's something else going on. And this is where we want to honor that genius creations aren't personal. They're not about us. Our genius has got things that want to come through. It's like there, it's like knocking. Can you hear me yet? And when we connect to it, it's like, oh, you finally listened. And then it's coming through, and things are showing up, and we're seeing opportunities that we wouldn't usually see because we haven't made it personal. But when it's like, oh, I don't feel right about this, then it becomes a bloodbath, because it's like, oh, dude, it's just not about the thing. And the biggest thing I noticed here, Natalie, was when you started talking about passion, peace, and presence. This looks like a message. You could say, like, this would, for me, this is what's becoming obvious. If you went to a business and say, hey, I've got a meditation, it's actually a co-creation. I got teachers that facilitate it, but the goal is that we ignite passion, peace, and presence in your staff all together. And we're doing it for free for 60 minutes. You want to book yourself in? I think people are going to go for it.
That was good.
Yeah. But so that's easy for me to look at because it's here, but that's what you do. And now some people go, that's not going to work. But it's like, this is your genius, and that's what we got. So we just assume, hey, if I say that, it's going to work. and then you go and look, we might be wrong, but that's okay. We went with what we got. And through not creating something, we will still also get other things about what we're actually creating. There's always more information for us to gain through creating something that doesn't quite match what our end result is, but we'll gain more information about, oh, actually it's this. And then we go. That's the creative process. So I think this is ready. And you just do it as a free offer. Like you said, this is not an ego thing. You're not going, pay me $1,000 to do this. It's like, no, look, I got a prototype. I don't know how well this works. Run it and see. and you'll know whether it's excellence or not. And through running it, you'll get information. That's what I'm really saying here.
Wow. Again, you're a wizard. I guess I didn't say that before speaking with you. I was like, you're a wizard. I'm so excited. That makes that like actually that's like the first time in a while that I've actually felt like an excited like fire in my belly. Like that
Right.
makes me feel
And don't get attached to it. Don't get attached to it. You see now, guys, what's happening now? Ego's going, see, we're feeling good again. This is good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, it comes up and I can hear it. I can hear it. You can hear it now too. So
Yeah.
you want to be focused on, just always tell yourself, it's about me and everyone that I'm working with feeling it all. If it's just me feeling it, then I'm not serving. Remember that one. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
co-creation. That's why when you said it's passion, peace, presence, I'm like, I feel like it's for them too. You're feeling it, but they're feeling it too.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And like everything that you've tuned into has been things that have been like floating around for a while. So every like program and course and like workshop that I create, I actually like make guides. Like I channel so that it just kind of like flows through,
Right.
and I make these guides. So I literally I would need to adjust it so that like somebody that's not me could actually properly understand certain bits and bobs. But
Right.
like I literally already have like guides made for
Yeah, nice.
yeah, like I recently just like redesigned like what I would do for like my main initial kind of like training, and then like the structure to support like integrating what people have learned, etc. And I what was the other thing that you said? Oh yeah, so having facilitators, that's something that like I even have like a couple people that I was like, oh, like they're kind of like I was already kind of like I don't want to say grooming because that's creepy, but like I've already been like preparing them for, I'm like, oh, at some point like I would love it if you actually like taught this meditation. So like
Fantastic.
yeah, like I've already got all like the little bits and bobs, and I can see that this has been something that's come through numerous times. I even have a friend that like has the golf course back in Canada, and he was like interested in like like, oh, what do you, and I talked about this same thing, like it's continuously come through, but I've not done it because I'm like, oh, I need to redo like my other programs, and I need to automate those, and I need to do like I keep like blocking myself from even doing
Yes.
this because I'm like, no, I need
And
to
the
do these.
ego will say that. It's like, but you've got to finish this other program. But it's like, hang on.
Yeah.
It's not about the end result we're creating here. Like there's been plenty of things that I've created that I've ditched. It's just like, well, sorry. We're not dating anymore. Going over here. It sounds brutal, but that's the creative process. That is literally, you will follow something and then, oh my God, that's the actual thing. And it's volatile. It moves, but you got to go with it because it's your heart here that's taking you on the wild ride, and led you here. And now and what's so great about this is you have been on the path. You're just slowing it down for yourself is what I'm getting. Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap that up there because I do have to go somewhere. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Natalie, thank you for being on these sessions. I hope you took a lot away from it. And if you guys are wanting to be a part of this show, all you need to do is head down into the show notes, apply, tell me a little bit about what your what's going on. You could have a business that's started or something you're wanting to launch. You might even be in sales or have a career and you're just a bit stuck. We'll be able to do something here, work some magic. So apply and we can chat about it there. Apart from that, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch up soon. Hey, if you've been enjoying my podcast, I have a special opportunity for you that you may be interested in. I've just started a new segment called the Genius Sessions, which is dedicated to coaching my guests through challenges that's stopping them from bringing their genius visions and ideas to life in their professional career or their business. And right now, you have the opportunity to apply to be a guest on this show. So if you're interested, head into the show notes, click on the application link and fill in all your details. If you've been successful, I'll reach out to you over email and we'll book in a time to record the episode. Apart from that, thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to connecting soon.